So, in an effort to demonstrate the value of what it means to be a freelancer and what we're doing at the RV office, I brought on someone I just met, I want to say maybe the spring of 2021. Is that right, Bailey?
Sounds right. Yep.
We're talking to Bailey Bridgewater, who is a freelancer on, I guess, a host of platforms or only Upwork.
Mostly Upwork, actually.
Okay, mostly Upwork and Upwork.com. You don't know this, Bailey, but before it was ever Upwork, it was Elance, then it was Odesk, and it keeps getting bought out and evolving over the years. I've used it for at least 15 years, maybe 17. That's how powerful that platform is. However, I didn't have the pleasure of using it as a freelancer, which I love what you do. Now, it just so happens that even though I didn't know you from the man on the moon, you actually lived in my hometown at one time. Is that correct?
Yes, in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
And you're a professor. You're an English professor.
I
You actually
was,
taught at the
yes.
college I went to, and I never met you. Didn't know you're too young to have been at the college where I went to anyway, right? So, as a freelancer, what's it mean to you? You were a college professor, and right now, are you still teaching at the university?
No, so I was a university professor. I started out teaching English composition, and then I switched over to administration. And like a lot of people, I just kind of got burnt out. And so that's when I started freelancing, first as kind of a side hustle. And then I quickly realized, like, oh, this can be a full-time thing. And so I did step away from the university, which is a shame. I did love teaching students, but I actually still get to work with universities. So I do some external evaluation for university grants.
But
I write grants
you
for
do it
them.
as a freelancer through
Yeah,
the Upwork
exactly.
platform.
Yep.
Okay, so now a lot of people who would listen to what you're talking about don't even understand this, but we know that an income of being a professor is nothing to shake a stick at. That's pretty good. So, or were you able to accommodate, at least get close to the kind of income you were making while you were actually going into the office and working every day? Or what's it like? Have you been able to supersede that? You don't have to give details. We probably can't count that high, but could you just kind of give us a little bit of background on that?
Sure, and I was working for a public university, so so salaries are actually public knowledge. You
Okay.
could find it if you wanted to. But yeah, since I was an administrator, I did make a healthy salary.
hmm
But what I have found, to be totally honest with you, is when I was working as an administrator, I put in 50, 55 hours a week. I make more as a freelancer doing 25 hours a week than I did with that full-time salary. Of course, I do have to pay for my own health insurance and my own retirement. But that's okay. I do make more, and of course, the freedom you have is invaluable.
Well, speaking of the freedom, this is the RV office, and what we do with the RV office is everyone loves to travel around.
Yep,
And what I'm telling them, I'm explaining to them you can work wherever you are, and that's
right.
something you do.
Yep,
So Bailey has caught my attention because every time I'm talking to her, she's in a different state. I mean, once she's in a storm, I forgot where. I want to say out west in Kansas or something, and then she's in North Carolina, staying there, and I think she's. I can't tell people where you are, but during this interview, New York State.
yep.
So tell us about freelancing. What that does for your ability to be free and live where you want, how you want, making more money than you did when you actually worked as a professor.
Yeah, so when I was living as a working for the university, I lived in Indiana. I owned a house. I was place bound. I lived there for a decade, but I've always been a serious traveler. So anytime I could get away from the university, I was on a plane going abroad. And
Wow.
I just, that settled lifestyle just isn't for me. It is for some people, and it's not for me. So what I do, I don't RV it. But I move from Airbnb or Verbo to Airbnb or Verbo. So I look for different places around the country. I stay in each place for a month to 3 months, depending
Okay.
on where it is. And that's enough time to be able to really get a feel for the place, to get to meet some people, to still get some work done, but also be able to do some serious hiking and kayaking and sightseeing as well.
So you really are an RVer, just without the RV. You're actually doing it honestly. When I think about the fact that you're on these farms, you're doing all this really cool stuff with the freedom of waking up when you're done sleeping and going to bed when you're tired. which is
Right.
different than being forced to wake up because you have to go to the office.
Right.
Let's talk about what it means to be a freelancer now. So we met because I was looking for a writer for our nonprofit, someone to write up a sponsorship grant, right, or do some other writing for us. That's how we met, right?
Yep.
And it's been over 12 months, probably more like 16 months now. How many projects have I can just so people really get how often once you have a pleasurable experience, how often you're contacted. So how many times have you done? How many projects have you done for me?
We've done, and I lost track at a point. We've done at least a couple of dozen. It's been really regular because we do lots of different types of projects too.
Including the
Grant,
writing about us on the RV office. It's I
yeah,
can't even make this kind of thing up.
yep. Website text, emails, grants, the whole thing.
Bios, whatever. And so I think it's powerful. Bailey, you are a godsend, by the way, but you know this. I actually use a lot of freelancers.
Hmm.
I I believe in the concept, and I want our RV office subscribers to understand if they want to get out there and see the world with the people they love most, they can do so and have the confidence they can do it as a freelancer or someone that even just works wherever they're going. So
Right.
thanks for joining us. Thanks for being here. I wanted to just share with people just how beautiful this is.
Thank you.
All right. Hey, do I get a discount on my next project?
No.
Thank you, Bailey. We'll see you.
Bye.